Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with my reaction to the Game Awards 2017. I tweeted about a few things throughout the show, but a couple of you guys were asking me for my thoughts on it in general, and I thought to myself, that'd make for a good video. So what I did was I wrote down all the highlights from the show that I personally enjoyed and thought stood out, and I'm going to generally talk about the show and the awards themselves at the end of this all. The first highlight is a teaser for a new From Software game. Some people are saying it's not Bloodborne 2. I think it has Bloodborne 2 written all over it. I beat Bloodborne 3 times. I love the game so much. It's easily my favorite FromSoft game, right next to Dark Souls 1. So I'm all about this announcement. It was a great way to start the show, especially because this was a pre-show announcement. Pretty bold move, so the expectations were high. And Nintendo continues to dominate, in my personal opinion, because then they announced a new expansion for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I didn't think I'd be going back to it, but this new Champions Ballad expansion looks to drag me back into the mix for a little bit. I really like the idea of going back, exploring new shrines, new areas, getting new armor, new weapons, kind of re-experiencing what I loved about Breath of the Wild in the first place over again. And this looks like the perfect place to do so because it's taking place before Link falls asleep for 100 years. Sadly, I couldn't show any gameplay or the trailer because Nintendo. That's the one thing they gotta straighten out. They're getting their games right now. They just need to fix their YouTube policy. Soul Calibur 6, are you joking? I was talking about this a week ago to my friend at GameStop. I was like, dude, where is Soul Calibur? Because we saw Soul Calibur 5 on the shelf, and all of a sudden, Soul Calibur 6 is announced. Blew my mind. Tekken 7 is one of my games of the year, so when they were coming up talking about that, and then saying we got another game we're going to announce, and it was Soul Calibur 6, I was all on board. I'm really excited to see who they're going to choose for the guest fighters. I think we got a little bit of a teaser at the end. I didn't analyze it too much, but all I know is I'm excited. I love Soul Calibur so much. Been playing it since the second one, so a 6th entry, long overdue, mind you. And after how good Tekken 7 was, I'm feeling real confident with this entry too, as a fighting game. Like I said, Nintendo's been killing it, and what did they surprise us with? Not only Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the Switch, which was kind of leaked, but Bayonetta 3 afterwards. I mean, Reggie with that bold challenge, like, you think I came here to announce one game? He's like, bro, hold up, I'm about to blow your mind and announce the third Bayonetta. I love this series. I bought a Wii U specifically to play Bayonetta 2 and a couple of other games like Smash Bros and Tokyo Mirage, but I digress. That was the primary reason I picked up the console, and I loved it. Played it over again, and I'm gonna play it again on the Switch. And Bayonetta 3, are you kidding me? Just take my money, Nintendo. They are rolling us in here, man. If you haven't played the Bayonetta series, please take a good look at it. It's such a great action series. Later on was Death Stranding, and I don't think really anybody has an idea what happened during this trailer. If you did, you're a genius. I couldn't piece anything together that really made sense. All I know is I'm intrigued. Whatever ride Hideo Kojima and everyone working on this game wants to take us on, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. See invisible monsters, babies, Norman Reedus, people with guns, a giant, looks like they're on some desolate planet. They're sinking into the ground. There are people crying. Like, what? I don't know what's happening. I really have no idea, but I don't care. I don't care, and I'm not saying that as a Hideo Kojima fanboy, because a lot of people just assume that's the case with anyone who's interested in his work, I think. And for me, I'm not even the biggest Metal Gear fan. Just what I saw in this trailer, I was like, I need to find out what the hell is happening here. It looks so brilliant in some strange way. So I can't wait to see more of this game and hopefully pick that one up. Witchfire. This game stuck out to me because when I was looking at the world itself before the guns started getting taken out, I thought to myself, this looks like what a Bethesda Game Studios open world game hopes to look like in a couple of years with an engine upgrade. I can't put my finger on it what exactly it was. Maybe it was the architecture mixed with how the head bob was and the way the world was almost gentle and inviting looking, but yet it completely flipped on its head when the guns came out. Regardless though, I really enjoyed Bulletstorm. That's a wonderful first-person shooter that's very underrated, and this is by some of the people who also made that game. Plus, this universe looks very intriguing to me, and I like the idea of what seems to be a single-player, balls-to-the-wall kind of action first-person shooter. So I'm all about this one, and like I said, just something about the way the world was structured really reminded me of Bethesda Game Studios. This isn't a game, but I'd regret not mentioning him, Joseph Fares. Like, this guy is my spirit animal now. This dude came out and was dropping the F-bomb left and right. Jeff Keighley's chilling there like, I finally put together, after many years of getting teased, of being critiqued, a great show that can represent the games industry. And then I got this guy right here just coming out, flipping off the camera, cursing people out, talking shit about the company who's publishing his own game. I mean, I love it, man. This guy, this is what makes the games industry special. We see such a focus just following the norm in all these different entertainment industries, and the gamers are like, we're on the internet, fuck it, let's just curse and do crazy shit like this. I'm not sure that's what Jeff had planned, but I think that was one of the best moments of the show, if not the best, aside from the games. Lastly, and I'll have a video fully dedicated to this because I'm very excited for this title, Metro Exodus. 4A Games is so under-discussed in the conversation of those who make the best post-apocalyptic titles, and I think it's because they don't release games all that often, but what they are doing with Metro, man, just looks so good. I absolutely cannot wait. I'm not sure if it's an open world game or not. I have to study it more, which is why I'm making a separate video on it, but just know I'm really excited about that one. And now let's talk generally about the Game Awards themselves. There really weren't any awards that I saw and completely disagreed with. I had my own certain picks. Basically anything that had Persona 5 in it or Nier Automata had my vote because I love both those games. Those are in my top 2 for Game of the Year. Hellblade was one I was really happy to see succeed on multiple fronts. I was just very relieved to see PUBG didn't win Game of the Year, not because it doesn't deserve it. I'm not going to get into that conversation, but more so because it would have sparked up a really venomous discussion. It wouldn't have ended well, I can tell you that much. So I'm really happy that that didn't happen. But yeah, I think when you look at 2012, 2013, the Game Awards, and then you look at it now, Jeff has done a great job with his whole team of moving things forward and really making this a show for gamers. It went on for super long, man. I mean, that was a 3+ hour show. So I'm really impressed. You can see the passion there. You can see the love there. And what was also really relieving is that Jeff tends to be at times a hype beast with some of his announcements. And I was really happy to see when he was like, I got something special for you guys. It really did feel special. It really was an exciting announcement for most gamers, at least in my opinion. So I was relieved with that one because I think one of his things is that he brings the good announcements there to the show, but sometimes he just builds them up too much where they're great, but they're not as great as he's just made them out to be. So I'm really happy that when he did pick his words and say, this is a good one, it really was one from a big company or something along those lines. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Game Awards 2017. Was there anything you disagreed with when it came to the awards? Was there any games that you saw that were announced that stuck out to you and you're really excited about? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content we create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.